Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. I want to talk about the Maui wildfires and the devastation that it has caused to the residents of this island. This wildfire destroyed over 2,700 acres of land, killed more than 100 people, and others were forced to evacuate and leave the only home and land that they know. The cause of this fire is still unknown at this time, but it's believed to be started by maybe some downed power lines or lightning and other elements that may have contributed to starting a fire. Plus, with the heavy winds on top of that, caused them to spread more quickly, and they were not able to control the fire, and it just wreaked havoc on this land and this island. It's very sad. This is considered one of the deadliest wildfires here in the U.S. that we've seen in a long time. And this devastating event just reminds me yet again how this country will provide more aid to other countries than they do to their own people. And I have a reason why I'm saying that I will get to that point later. These citizens right now are left struggling, and we need to help. Our government needs to render the same aid that they have been rendering to Ukraine. At the time, so there's Biden came out and said that he's going to be giving the residents $700 per household. $700 compared to no money, it's okay, to get their basics, to get some food or whatnot, but only $700 per household. If you have a household of 5, you have children, how far is that $700 going to stretch? I don't know the exact amount of money or the cost of living per se on that island, but I know here in California, the cost of living is really expensive. The cost of food has gone up, and just for your basic necessities, you're spending way more money than we were spending back in 2020. So I can only imagine on, in Maui, before this wildfire, the residents of Hawaii, a lot of the Hawaii islands, they were like urging people like, don't come here. We have limited resources. We get it. It's beautiful land, nice vacation spot, but the natives are not being, when we go there and we spend that money is not going to the natives. It's not putting money in their pocket. They're not, for the people that work at the resorts, okay. But for the rest of the residents, they're not seeing that money. They're not putting that money back into the communities, and they're struggling. They don't have regular jobs, and it's not cool that they would have to go through that, and this is where they actually live. People come, they visit, and then they go home. Or you have people to stick around and stay, and they're taking these resources from them, and that was something that they complained about. And this fire is just not making it any better. The support offered to the survivors, it pales in comparison to the aid that was rendered in Ukraine. Ukraine was given billions of dollars. We're still giving them billions of dollars. As a matter of fact, again, when Biden mentioned that he was giving the residents of Maui $700 per household, he also mentioned that he was going to be giving Ukraine another $24 billion in aid. And I know that a lot of this aid is, came mostly in the form of weaponry for them to, fight this war. But it's like, when is enough enough? We need money and resources here. And to just, to tell us that we're broke and you can't do this. We can't help the homeless population, which here in California, the homeless is off the chain. It's so much homelessness going, and there's nowhere for them to go. There's no resources, or there are resources, but it's a mess. And so to just see them funneling all this money into Ukraine, it's just, I don't know, it's questionable for me. And, and now specifically, Getting tongue tied. Specifically, since this is happening with Maui and they really need this aid, we need to see them go just as hard and Biden go just as hard and dig deep in those pockets and give them the money that they need to get back on their feet. I guess because this is all very new, we don't know what they're going to propose, but hopefully it's not something that, I hope that it's something that makes sense, the dollar amount. And Biden is, so far, he's given $67 billion in defense to Ukraine, 113 billion for their military, and I'm not sure of the amount that he's given to them just for aid as far as getting back on their feet. But I've already talked about that. But moving on, this reminds me, and this is just me candidly talking, me, getting things off my chest and just giving my opinion on the situation. Looking at this Maui and this Ukraine, just a comparison of the two, it reminds me of what happened with Hurricane Katrina. And I don't know if you all remember back in 2024, December 2024, there was a big tsunami that hit the Indian Ocean. And it was devastating. It was. And at the time, President Bush, he immediately sent aid over to India. He sent 330, well, actually a total of $950 million to support and to rehabilitate their areas affected by this tsunami. 339 million was for reconstruction. 168 million was for the victims to transition back to their communities. 35 million was to help with replenishing and revamping their warning systems so that they, and I get that, these things were needed. That earthquake hit in U.S. aid, they immediately gave them what they needed. I mean, I recall our troops, everything, people were sending, they were getting on planes and going over there. And then in August 29th to be exact, when Hurricane Katrina touched down, it took them 7 days to render aid to the people of New Orleans. And for the life of me, I could not understand how here on American soil, when we had such a devastating, catastrophic event, that our government had to wait. And I'm trying to figure out, what were they waiting on? What was the holdup? And I just didn't understand it. I think a lot of us couldn't really wrap our minds around the devastation that we saw before our eyes. But I just wanted to bring that situation up because it's like, to me, it's the same thing. It's kind of like it's repeating itself again. Here it is. You have something happening in the U.S. because Hawaii is a part of the U.S. And, this thing has happened, something that was out of their control, even though some people beg to differ. There's some conspiracies about it. But if this is a catastrophic, just an event that happened, and it was out of their control, give them the aid that they need. And Biden, I'm going to need you to dig a little bit deeper in your pockets and give the residents more than $700. And with that being said, I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and different social media outlets of people and residents really speaking up and saying what's really happening. And with all of this going on, the audacity of these corporations and these real estate people calling these victims at their lowest and saying, oh, by the way, we now that you're unhoused and you no longer have your land that you and your family has been living here and for forever, we're going to offer you some money, and why don't you sell us your land? Like, why would you take advantage of people at their lowest point? And this has been happening. And I think this is the most scandalous of the whole situation. Yes, they lost lives and everything, but I understand and I see why people or these conspiracies are coming out, maybe thinking that this was intentional. I'm not saying it was intentional. but I could see where people are kind of like, here's this catastrophic event, and now you want to come, and the first thing on your mind, rather than rendering aid or trying to tap in with these people and say, you know what, let us help. No, it's, oh, do you want to sell your land? That's not cool. And there's some videos that I have here that you can go ahead and watch just to hear, what's really going on and what these people are up against.
We'll make it happen. Do not sell to anybody outside. We will get you back in your house. No matter what we have to do, we will get the funding to make sure that we can rebuild everybody's homes. Our community leaders should be at the forefront in decision making for our place.
Residents actually have another concern going forward too. What is that?
Yeah, Hoda, local residents say they have been contacted by real estate companies and realtors who are looking to buy their land. Some still don't know if their home is standing or not. The governor and others have been critical of this, some calling it a land grab, saying outside agencies are trying to move in and take the land that has long belonged to Hawaiian people for decades out of their very hands, Hoda.
Maui wildfires are picking up the pieces. Some are getting calls from real estate agents offering to sell their property. The realtors claim they want to help, but many Lahaina residents see the offers as predatory and worry that new developments could make their home unrecognizable.
Again, what's happening over in Maui right now is truly devastating. But let me know what you think. Hit the comments, go in, leave your opinion, leave your thoughts. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.